It's actually rather easy to move away from your current cloud provider. Let's say you want to move from AWS to Azure or from Azure to AWS, because the same mechanism that help you to move to the cloud provider in the first place also exists if you want to move out. If you have lots of data, for example in Azure, you can send empty hard drives and they're going to move your data on those hard drives, so it allows you to take it with them. Obviously, as bigger or more complicated the workload it is that you have in the cloud, it takes more time to move. So there is no lock-in. There is not a golden key answer that it says this is the way how you have to move. There's people that say they're going to move, let's say a not so critical application or workload to the cloud and then something else, or they decide that everything that they make new going down the road is going to be in the cloud. I think very important just to realize is that in the best world you would have everything as a software as a service. And when you see that there is some limitations that you can't do with software as a service, then look at PaaS first. And infrastructure as a service, really just take it if it's not possible for your situation to do it with platform as a service. But obviously with platform as a service, you have way more benefits in the cloud than if you have to do everything by yourself. Just think about installing the monthly Windows updates on your servers or patches and hotfixes. When you're a customer, you can basically download all the reports from all the different services you consume. You can see exactly what the audit report for all those compliance standards that Microsoft Azure fulfills. You can download it and you will see the same feedback that Microsoft sees to take actions from the audit company. So there is nothing hidden or changed by the time you see it. And if you're not yet a customer, you will find all the information on the Trust Center available. So you will see the feedback we get from many customers, actually they wish they would have the same thing internally, where you can just log in, let's say, in your Office 365 admin portal and download all these reports for Office 365. When you move to the cloud, there is a certain dependency, of course, but so is if you go to a hoster or if you just do everything on-premise. You already have a dependency with the electricity company that delivers electricity to your building and so on. And when we think back, when every industrial company made their own electricity, there came the time and point where they had to tell themselves, okay, are we going to produce cars or electricity? Are we going to produce these goods or electricity? And then they took the big bet and say, you know what, I'm going to buy from this centralized organization the electricity because this is not my core business. This is not added business value for me in the field I'm working in. And the same is with the cloud. Yes, there are a certain dependency, but on the other hand, the scalability and the progress we make in the cloud is something you cannot do by yourself or on-premise. Costs, I believe I have heard it all. Some that say, no way, you know what, it is definitely cheaper on-premise than it is in the cloud, and so on. And I honestly have to say, if you're not a small business, I can't believe it. If you're an enterprise customer, there's no way that you're cheaper on-premise than within the cloud. The question is just, are you doing it right in the cloud? If you just do lift and shift and you deploy way too big virtual machines, then it's probably expensive. If you operate all the workloads 24/7, then it's probably also very expensive. But if you're smart and you say, you know what, I need this workload actually only doing business hours, and let's say you only run it 45 hours or 50 hours instead of 7/24, then that has a huge impact on what you pay. Your site recovery, backup. The more common mistakes that we have seen with especially large enterprise customers, that they compare apple and pears. For example, if you talk with IT, sometimes they didn't take into consideration what the facility cost that is actually their on-premise data center, because it was in a different cost center. Or they didn't take into calculation what maintenance and the cleaning of the facility cost, because it was also in a different cost center. So I would stand my ground and say, if you're a large enterprise, definitely. If you're a small company, yes, in certain circumstances, you could say it is cheaper. But the cloud has in any way more benefits also than what you have on-premise cheaper. Let's say you have hard drives, that is your storage, and you say, you know what, it's cheaper than what it is in the cloud because I have the same piece of technology for the next 5 years. But who updates the firmware? If you have a backup, who does the backup? Are you going to have to remember? That's also time that you invest, and in the cloud it's just there, super easy, accessible, and just a few mouse clicks. So it's not just the cost benefits, it's also if you really calculate the true cost. Or as in one book I've read for entrepreneur, the first thing you should outsource is the thing it doesn't need your qualification to do it. For example, if you have somebody that can help you with your travel arrangements, or in your house, somebody that helps you cleaning the house. If you can do something more valuable in that time and actually increase your overall income, then you should do that and outsource for example, the job for the person that helps you clean. These 5 questions are some of the questions that I've been asked while attending an event from Open System. Open System is a great company that has a great solution that helps you to really have a holistic approach in your security. If you don't know the company, I definitely ask you to check it out. I put their link into the description of this video. It is worth your time. I hope that these answers to these questions may have helped you. If there were some good answers, I kindly ask you to please help me spread the word. Share it with your friends, share it over your social network. I'm happy for every help that I get to really lend the messaging and to answer these questions that it seems many customers still have. And as usual, please keep your feedback coming. I highly appreciate all the good feedback I receive, but also the feedback for improvements that helps me to grow. And please make sure you subscribe on WordPress so that you're gonna get all the news updates of what I'm doing and what I'm working on. And with that, I say thank you very much and I wish you a great day.